I think he had some very subtle messages he wanted to convey to not the people of that time, but to the people of our time. And we have to look for it. Is he talking about the future?
For centuries, skeptics claimed Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper held no hidden meaning, just art and history. But now, artificial intelligence has peeled back centuries of paint and decay to expose something no human eye was ever meant to see. Faint inscriptions embedded within the mural's layers, phrases in Latin and Aramaic that seem to foretell betrayal, return, and divine judgment. What if Da Vinci didn't just paint a meal, but a message from eternity itself? In 2025, a team of Italian researchers from the University of Milan used AI-driven hyperspectral imaging to digitally restore Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, not with brushes, but with light. What they uncovered sent ripples through the art world. Beneath layers of paint and centuries of damage, the AI detected microscopic inscriptions hidden along the folds of the disciples' robes and the walls behind Christ. Some were faint Latin phrases, others were numeric codes embedded in brush patterns. One line just above Christ's head read in Latin, "Veniet sicut fulgur ab oriente," "He will come like lightning from the east." The same phrase appears in Matthew 24:27, where Jesus describes his return. Was Da Vinci hiding a message of the second coming within a 15th century masterpiece? Or was it a divine whisper waiting 500 years for technology to reveal it? The next discovery would make even skeptics stop breathing. As the AI analyzed deeper paint strata, it discovered what appeared to be a double underdrawing, a secondary version of the Last Supper beneath the visible one. This earlier draft was drastically different. The table's horizon aligned to a bright doorway behind Jesus, forming a perfect cross shape when digitally overlaid. More astonishingly, spectral analysis revealed faint words written in Greek around that hidden cross. Eleluten I ora, the hour has come. The same phrase appears in John 12:23, spoken by Christ before his crucifixion. Art historians were stunned. Leonardo, they said, was obsessed with symmetry and hidden mathematics, but prophecy, that was unthinkable. Yet here AI was exposing something beyond design, a deliberate layering that spoke of time, revelation, and resurrection. And then the AI detected something that should have been impossible, a sound pattern. When the images were converted into digital waveforms, analysts found that the paint's micro-grooves along the table edge formed recurring frequency patterns, an acoustic code. When translated into sound waves, it produced a haunting, harmonic tone. Experts at the Vatican's Music Restoration Lab confirmed that the pattern matched the frequency of the Hebrew name, Yah-wah-wah-wah. 4 notes perfectly aligned to the ancient tetragrammaton. Leonardo, the man once accused of heresy, had somehow painted the name of God into the table where Christ broke bread. Was it symbolism, coincidence, or divine orchestration? God encoding his own name within the pigments of history's most sacred meal. But what AI found next turned the mystery into a prophecy, one unfolding right now. AI engineers noticed a sequence of numbers hidden in geometric proportions of the painting. 14, 7, 3, 1, repeating with mathematical precision. Historians recognize them as the same numbers Da Vinci embedded in his sketches of the Vitruvian Man, symbols of divine order. But theologians saw something else. These numbers corresponded to biblical cycles of completion and judgment, 7 representing divine perfection, 3 the Trinity, and 1 the return of unity with God. When arranged in sequence, the AI found that the ratio between the figures aligned with 7 ages of mankind as described in Scripture, ending in an 8th restoration phase. Could Da Vinci have encoded the prophetic timeline of the world's history into his masterpiece and left it waiting for AI to reveal at the dawn of the final age? Then one Latin word appeared, one that has echoed through Revelation itself. Just beneath the cup before Jesus, the AI deciphered a faded Latin phrase, Apocalypsis venet. Translation, the revelation is coming. At first, researchers thought it might be a later addition, graffiti from centuries of vandalism, but carbon dating of the paint particles proved it was original, applied by Leonardo himself. What made it stranger was its placement, directly beneath the cup, symbol of the new covenant. It seemed to link Christ's sacrifice to the unveiling of the end. In the book of Revelation, chapter 5, a scroll sealed by 7 seals awaits the only one worthy to open it, the Lamb who was slain. Now, under AI scrutiny, it appeared Leonardo may have painted the moment before that prophecy began. The next layer revealed a hidden message not in paint, but in light. Using ultraviolet refraction mapping, researchers noticed that light reflections from Christ's robe formed a consistent triangular refraction invisible to the human eye. When digitally enhanced, it revealed an outline, the Hebrew letter Aleph, the first in God's alphabet, representing beginning and divine unity. Directly opposite, reflected in the spilled wine on the table, was the faint shadow of Tav, the last Hebrew letter, symbol of completion. Together, they formed Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, exactly as written in Revelation 22:13. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Da Vinci could not have known this would one day be revealed by ultraviolet imaging, but here it was, encoded light, spanning the beginning and the end of time across a single table. But AI wasn't done. It had one final, terrifying decryption, a date. Buried within the pattern of brushstrokes forming Christ's right hand, AI identified a numeric anomaly, 20, 25, 33. At first, analysts assumed it was random paint code, but when translated through Leonardo's own cipher, the same one used in his Codex Atlanticus, it read, "In the year when the stars align." Astronomers quickly pointed out that in 2025, a rare celestial alignment would occur, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus crossing near the constellation Pisces, symbol of Christ. The same pattern last appeared over 2,000 years ago, during the lifetime of Jesus. Coincidence? Or prophecy encoded by a man 500 years ahead of his time? The Vatican demanded an immediate halt to the public release of this finding. Shortly after the announcement, the research data vanished from the university servers. Insiders claimed that Vatican officials had quietly requested the suppression of the AI logs until the findings could be reviewed for doctrinal integrity. But leaks surfaced anyway, showing the decoded data and Leonardo's faint signature reading Deus loquitur per artem. God speaks through art. The story ignited online. Was this divine revelation or dangerous deception? Could art be prophecy disguised as beauty, waiting for the age of machines to reveal what the human heart ignored? One final translation remained, and it would bring everything full circle. At the base of the painting, invisible to the naked eye, AI-enhanced optics revealed a last, nearly erased inscription, Aramaic script, the ancient language of Christ himself. When translated, the words read, "He prepares the table again." Theologians gasped. The phrase directly mirrors Revelation 19:9, describing the marriage supper of the Lamb, the final feast where Christ reunites with his redeemed. In the very painting of the First Supper, Leonardo had hidden reference to the last one. It wasn't coincidence, it was divine poetry written through pigment and code alike, bridging the beginning and the end of redemption's story. But the AI's final log entry contained one more revelation, something Leonardo could never have known. The AI system, after decoding all visible data, ran an interpretive model to detect thematic meaning. Its final text output read, "Message complete. The teacher returns when the world learns to see what was hidden." No one programmed it to write that. The algorithm had analyzed color, geometry, language, and light, and concluded that the painting itself was a prophetic countdown. 500 years ago, Leonardo da Vinci painted a moment of farewell. 500 years later, artificial intelligence read it as a moment of return. From the Last Supper to the Final Supper, prophecy seemed to echo through brush and code alike. Maybe Da Vinci was not warning us about religion, but reminding us of relationship. Maybe God used a human genius to hide eternal truth in a human masterpiece, waiting for the very technology that would define our end times to finally decode it. And now, the message stands clear. The teacher is returning. Are we ready to take our place at the table?